Hi, and welcome to Life Redefined, how to begin to define who you are at your core. Well, why do you want to define who you are? Why do you want to redefine your life? Well, situations and circumstances come up, and you've allowed those to define you. Maybe you've allowed the important people in your life to define you, your parents or a sister or a brother or your grandparents. Maybe you've even let random people define you. Maybe you've let the words that they've spoken over you define you. And so you've even let your own assumptions about yourself define you. But guess what? You have defined yourself inaccurately if you have defined yourself in these ways. You have not defined yourself according to who you are at your core because you haven't known who you are at your core. And that's why it's time for you to define who you are at your core so that all these other things in your life don't try to define you any longer. What are the implications of living inaccurately defined? Well, you end up being a people pleaser because you don't know who you are. And so pleasing other people feels validating. You become a control freak as a way of overcompensating for feeling out of control of your own life. Or maybe you procrastinate because deep down inside, you know that you aren't living with purpose because you don't know what your purpose is. And so it makes you wait and hesitate. Maybe you've become a perfectionist as a way of overcompensating for feeling less than or not good enough. When you are inaccurately defined, you have to live in someone else's vision, in the box that someone else has created for you. You have a hard time making decisions and you don't trust yourself. Well, what's great about accurately redefining who you are? Well, you get to discover who you are really created to be. You get to live authentically and you get to live with intention and purpose, and you get to see the dreams of your heart unfold. And that unlocks significance, fulfillment, and true joy. Here's 6 things that you need to know to redefine who you are at your core. First of all, you need to know your intrinsic core values. You know, a lot of our suffering is caused because we're living off of the values of other people. But when you get to know your intrinsic core values, it's a real game changer because you begin to live in alignment with your core values, and your core values direct you instead of the opinions of other people or guilt or anything else. Well, you also need to know your passions. Your passions are what fuel your fire, they stir your soul. And if you're a giver, you give and you give and you give. But if you don't give back to yourself by stirring up your own fire and stoking your own the coals of your passions, then you give and you give and you end up depleted. So knowing what your passions are is a way to fuel yourself, to fuel your own soul, so that when you give from a place of abundance. Well, it's also important for you to know your potential, because knowing what your potential currently is and then allowing that to grow, it helps you to keep moving forward. You also need to know your mission and your vision. Your mission is who you are and what you're here to do. And your vision is the end result of what your future looks like because you're living your mission. And then your purpose is your why. It's why you're here. And it's actually your mission in action. Well, we're going to focus on 3 of these things in this program. We're going to focus on your values, your purpose, and your mission. So, first of all, your values are declarations about what you believe. Your values are sets of beliefs or convictions about good and bad, right and wrong, and about many other aspects of living and interacting with society and others. Values are beliefs and opinions that people hold regarding issues and concepts such as God, liberty, freedom, love, sex, education, relations, and friendships. Your core values are something that you align with and are detrimental to your integrity and authenticity when you're out of alignment with them. So, the first thing we're going to do is you're going to do your values homework. So, you're going to print out what are my top 5 values homework. I'll show you a picture below, and you're going to follow the directions and you're going to decide what your top 5 values are. So, before you move forward with the rest of this lesson, I want you to put this on pause and you can go download your homework and do the values homework. Here's what it's going to look like. So, what you're going to do is you're going to look at this list of values and you're going to circle or write down the values that you connect with. So, when you're looking at this list, I don't want you to overthink it. Now, if there are other values that are not on this list and you want to use those, go ahead and write them down. Don't overthink it. Just circle the ones that feel right or write down any others that come to your mind. And what I want you to do is just circle as many of them as you can that you feel you really connect with. Once you do that, then you're going to go back and you're going to look at the values that you circled or that you wrote down, and you're going to group them into 5 groups. You're going to group them together in a way that they feel similar. So you're going to have 5 groups. So, for example, one group might contain wealth, abundance, and financial freedom. So those all kind of feel like they group together. Another group might contain, peace, serenity, calmness, kindness. Maybe another group says gratitude, thankfulness, and appreciation. So you're going to, once you've circled all the words and written down any others that you feel connected to, then you're going to group those words into 5 groups that feel similar. Once you have your 5 groups, then you're going to go back and you're going to pick one word from each group to represent the whole, and these are going to be your top 5 values. Once you're done with this, you can come back and continue on with the lesson. Next, we're going to talk about purpose. Your purpose is a declaration about why you're here and what you're here to do. Your purpose is why you exist. It is what you do that gives meaning to your life. Your purpose, in other words, is your competitive advantage. It's what sets you apart. It's also what you do. It's that thing that you do that makes you lose track of time. It's that thing that you're so good at that you would do it for, you love it so much that you would do it for free, but you're so good at it that people are willing to pay you for it. It's your purpose. The number one question that people ask is, what's my purpose? But you can discover your purpose by going through this exercise. So I want to give you a way to help you discover your purpose. So when you're writing a paper, you start with a thesis statement. So a thesis statement is a statement or a theory that is put forward as a premise to be maintained or proved when you're writing a paper. So a thesis statement makes a promise to the reader about the scope, the purpose, and the direction of the paper. So writing a personal thesis statement can be the beginnings of a personal purpose statement that will give direction to your life. So you're going to go download this homework, and here's what you're going to do. So remember that a thesis statement is a sentence that guides you and directs you, keeping you focused as you write the paper. So that's what I want you to think about as you're writing your personal thesis statement. So what's your biggest question? Now, this is going to take some really deep thinking here. what's the question that haunts your mind? When you dig underneath all your fears, when you dig underneath all your desires, what's the big question underneath it all? And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When I did this exercise, this was the question that was haunting my mind. And I thought, can a previously codependent, introverted, inexperienced in the ways of the world woman who lost it all come back, reimagine, reinvent, and reinvigorate her life on her own and become successful, find true love, and fulfill the call of God on her life? I know that's a mouthful, but I had to dig for that. But when it came down to it, that question was underneath everything. That question was underneath every fear, every desire, everything that motivated me to move forward. That question, it haunted me. And so I started to answer the question. And the answer to your big question is your thesis statement. So whatever the answer is to your question, that's going to be the beginnings of your personal purpose. So here's a couple of them that I came up with out of my own question. I can turn tragedy into triumph by redefining, reinventing, and reinvigorating my life with purpose while inspiring others to do the same. So that answers the question right there. And that became a part of my purpose statement for life. Here's another one that I came up with. I can and I will build a successful business and life that I love. Here's another one. I will live abundant, free, and connected. So those were 3 versions of my thesis statement that I pulled from to create my own personal purpose statement. So I want you to download this homework and just begin to dig and really ask yourself, think about everything you've been through and what is the big question that is underneath everything? What question haunts your mind? And then once you find the answer to that, that is the beginnings of your personal purpose statement. Once you're done, you can come back to the video and hit play and pick back up. Okay, now let's talk about your mission. A mission is a declaration of who you are. Your mission is the value you bring to the world and who you bring that value to. Your mission gives your purpose and your values direction. So here's an example. My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive, and to do it with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. That was Maya Angelou. So to thrive is her purpose, and it's directed by passion, compassion, humor, and style, which are probably her values, some of her core values. So here's your mission homework. I want you to print out the homework. What is your mission? And you're going to follow the directions to write your personal mission statement. So you're going to answer these questions. What are your gifts and talents? What makes you unique? What value do you bring to the world? What is your purpose? Refer back to your purpose homework. What will direct your purpose, or what is the way that you will deliver your purpose? You can refer back to Maya Angelou's purpose, her mission statement. And then you can begin to write your own. So if you will do this homework and begin to uncover your core values, your purpose, and your mission, this will begin to direct you, and you will begin to redefine your life according to who you are at your core, instead of being defined by other people, other people's words, even your own thoughts and patterns, or just the circumstances of life. So if you want more of this kind of work, I want to offer you an opportunity. So if you want to continue this journey, I have a larger program that is called Life Purpose Portfolio Project, where you're going to take a deeper dive into the essence of who you are at your core. And you will unearth the treasure within and reveal who you are at your core. I will take you on a deeper dive into excavating your intrinsic core values. I will walk you through a purpose. I will walk you through uh, determining your personal passion and potential. I will help you answer the age-old question, what's my purpose once and for all? So we'll take a deeper dive into that. And then I will help you script, take the mission that you've begun to unfold here and help you script a powerful mission statement that summons you into a life of significance and fulfillment. And then once you have your mission statement on point, then you will begin to, I will walk you through a process of scripting a compelling vision statement that keeps you focused and moving forward. So if you are interested in hearing more about the Life Purpose Portfolio Project, you can email me at angela@angelaaja.com and schedule a complimentary clarity call, and I'd love to talk to you more about that. But I'm telling you, redefining your life according to who you are at your core will change the game. It will it will uplevel your confidence, your self-esteem, and you will be more strategic in moving forward and creating a life that you love, and it will support you in soaring to another level. Okay, all my love, do the work. Bye.